Karen Gomez and Yetzabel Zambrano, and we welcome you to a new edition of 5 Girls, 1 Language.
Today in our broadcast, we'll break down the most relevant events in global news. The most important and crucial point will be to discuss the impact of the political and immigration decisions currently being made in the United States.
Overall, the Trump administration is at somewhat radical turning point in its Desert 2 process. The mass deportation of dozens of documented citizens or dozens under the notorious humanitarian parole, which is a resident permit for people who are inadmissible to the national for various reasons.
Most of the deported individuals are Latin Americans, so in this edition of our program, we'll talk about them, primarily Venezuelan citizens. For this, we'll give to our panel of experts consisting of journalist Rosangela Osorio, political scientist Carmen Perdomo, and immigration law specialist Briangela Quijano.
Below is a link to communication with our specialists.
Good morning, I am Rosangela Osorio. Thank you for the opportunity. As mentioned, this is a difficult time of Venezuela migrants in the United States. To put deportation in context, over the weekend, President Trump deported hundreds of Venezuelans to El Salvador, sparking a legal spot. This deportation will carried on under the guise of 200-year-old law that granted President the power to deport undocumented immigrants even in times of war with little or no process.
Would his Carmen Perdomo justify for controversy regarding the judicial blockade and legal controversy with half the information that unfair whose temporarily blockade deportation and is not the here if corruption enemy and amply the fit that at the daily tank of the American Nation for Civil Liberties. Status that Trump administration violated the law about the exchanging the orders, noting that the term February cannot be used this contested and that the must be an individual process on the determination of persons in November and then criminal. Deportation have to through White House is total the sangre begin on court order, favoring whose order the drafting to last. For a after question the use by the president of for a day the enemy law 9 and concentrate of time obtain the back allow forced deportation with legal or no deployed. The time the United States uses this last war during the Second World War to impression total of people from the just basic decent includes use citizens and genuine and close the conversation grass cases.
Good morning, this is Briangela Quijano. Thank you for the news. Usted the permit largwed ariwed the laugh of the Trump administration. The fleet led the use after the youth had used its order. But other fleets were already abroad. They also maintain that the administration is only about bid-hearing courting orders, not verbal guns used from the bench.
A federal judge has criticized the Trump administration, claiming it is walking into courts and telling a federal court it can rebut evidence or stop when they're done. The federal judge was concerned about what the Trump administration knew about his order and when, and has gained the White House a deadline to report.
As for future prospects or assumptions, both sides will return to court on Friday to argue the merits of President Trump's decisions. This case is unfolding amid growing concerns about a potential constitutional crisis, as the Trump administration appears to defy court orders and publicly critiques the federal judge involved.
We close our news broadcast on 5 Girls, 1 Language. Thank you all for tuning in and participating through our digital platforms. Remember, the news never stops, as it's constantly evolving, and neither do we. At 5 Girls, 1 Language, our commitment is to keep you informed and connected with what's happening around us. We'll be back tomorrow with more up-to-date information. See you soon.